I'm Lance Calvert. This is the Retail Fix It podcast. Retail Fix It is a nationwide facility management company. We cover repairs in every trade across the entire country for multi-location national facility owners. We've been doing this for 24 years. This is episode 2. Today, we're going to address some things, kind of upsets in the industry or disconnects in the industry that we're doing to revolutionize some much needed things in order for us to succeed, but for this industry to be revolutionized in a way that the parties involved are all successful, because everybody can win, even us in the middle, hiring the vendors and the subcontractors for these customers. Look, customers are paying the bills. And these service providers they're grown men companies. These guys are going out there as fully established businesses to perform a service for major multi-location corporation facility owners. So those are two different worlds. You know, a corporate-owned facility deserves some streamlined facility management. That's why they hired us. You know, they need that. They need somebody that can organize repairs across every trade, across every state in the country. But that's their world, that's their need, and that's what this industry is about. And they need local, grassroots, electrical companies, handyman companies, plumbing companies, HVAC, glass, roofers, parking lot, you name it. All trades. They need that type of repair service performed in any place in the country at any given moment. There's emergencies, there's standard stuff. They've got to take care of their facilities. So that's what this industry is. That's what my company is, Retail Fix It. And so what we're doing is we've got a bunch of ideas. We've got things that we've got a purpose in this to revolutionize this industry. And it's needed. This industry has the picture which is painting is those are two wildly different types of individuals that have to work together all year regularly. And so we have a facilitated go-between there in order to accomplish that. These corporate owners, they deserve and expect our company to figure that out, to streamline it, to get the job done, and then pay the bills. What I experienced when I was a tech in the field, because I spent 15 years as a technician doing service calls nonstop. After a while of doing it, there was a lot of inefficiencies and a lot of things they didn't understand about me as a vendor, you know, and even the corporate owners don't understand because they've never been a repair tech. They're running a major retail corporation. What are we doing to solve that? Well, first, let's talk about a little bit more specific of the problems. I mean, these vendors, service provider, technicians, whatever you want to call it, these guys are a fully established business. These are not children. They're not an employee of some handyman company. They are the owners of a business. They have taxes to pay. They've got workers' comp. They've got general liability insurance. They've got automotive commercial insurance. They've got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of things to pay for. They've got fuel costs. They've got repair costs on vehicles. They've got downtime. They've got every kind of issue that any business has, plus because they have vehicles on the road and there's, you know, and there's techs that have real issues that they have to deal with. So not only that, but they've got a full office staff. When we send them out there, there's inefficiencies that have to be addressed in this industry to facilitate those service providers, to empower them in order for that to benefit our customers and benefit us. So really the focus for us is a major look at what pain points do these vendors and service providers have? What are they experiencing that causes them to charge more money? You know, there's customers that are paying more money because there's vendors that have red tape and things in place that are costing them money, and so they're charging it on the back end. There's GPS to find out how close they are to the store. When they get to the store, they may have to use the store phone to sign in, or they may have to wait for the store manager, you know, for quite a while before they can start doing the repair. Or if they can't use our app or technology correctly, then there's wasted time and frustration. When they're dealing with these things, it translates into cost for our customers. So what we did was we set out to create a company that focused on finding the right vendors. And really, guys, look, the right vendors can be the ones that get frustrated and won't work for national companies or are going to charge a lot of money if there's red tape and hurdles and delays in their way. Or they won't even work. Some of these guys won't even work for national facility management companies. And they're good ones. These are good, solid people. They've just been treated wrong. Now, look, there's bad vendors. The industry's got a bad rap with a lot of good people. Some bad, but a lot of good people too. And we want the best vendors in the country, period. We can't compromise on quality. Our customers need to see us performing repairs with absolute top-notch quality. Well, it takes the good guys, the good vendors to do that. And so our customers, they need that stuff done quality, but they don't need to spend a whole 30% more, 100% more. These customers need the job done, but they need it done high quality, but they need it done efficiently. And how do we do that? How do we accomplish getting these service providers back on the jobs, the right ones, and doing it with the right service providers, but also happy ones that feel right about doing the job. And that translates into cost. That matters to the customer and it matters to us. So we're still doing some things to solve that, but we're in this to help subcontractors to have a place where they feel like they can work for a company that's literally got their backs. When they do a job for us, and they're going to get paid for that job. They're going to get paid on the terms that we told them they're going to get paid or sooner. These subcontractors, when they pick up the phone to call about an accounting issue, they need a person to answer the phone in accounting. When they sign on with a national facility management company, they're excited signing on. But the first job they get, I can tell you what's on their mind. I wonder if I'm going to get paid. I wonder how they're going to treat me. I wonder if they're going to be rude or understand when I call them. I wonder if their processes are going to run me through so many hurdles that I'm going to have to do my job and their job at the same time. We have absolutely got to ensure quality. We've got to control cost. We've got to communicate well, and we've got to facilitate our customers. They're paying the bills. And this is what I'm saying. In order to accomplish that, I have to go downstream to these service providers, not apply more pressure, more red tape, more hurdles, and more rejected invoices, because it's offensive. When these people have done a job and they get a rejected invoice and they can't get somebody on the phone to talk about it, I'm telling you, they come undone. I mean, we can avoid this and act like we're all high and mighty or something, but you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And there's only so many of these guys. You can't go into a town and hire subcontractors and vendors and say, if you won't do this, I'll find somebody that will. Yeah, I mean, that works for a little while until they're talking, around town. There's problems in this industry. We've gotten into this industry to fix it and to help these problems get out of this industry and to reshape the ideology of it. We'll talk more about the pain points of service providers and technicians, because I've got plenty of content. I can get into the gritty of any of that, of what hurdles they have to jump through and things. But let's talk a little bit about the solutions and what we've done to solve these issues so far and what we're doing in the industry to win for the customer by finding the right service provider and treating them like a grown man or a grown woman, because that's what's going to ultimately give us the favor we need to get them on site. That's what's going to give us the favor we need to get the right cost. That's what's going to give us the favor we need to ensure quality. Look, I mean, if you have a relationship with a vendor and you're treating them right, even if they're a good vendor and they give you fair cost, and you need a favor, you need some cost reduced or something anyway, you ask them for it, they'll give it to you. These are real people that are really putting bread on the table for their families, and they just need to be treated that way. And I'm telling you, you can accomplish a lot that way. One of the big things we're doing to solve that is technology. These service providers have a full-blown job to do. If they didn't have to get the first sign-off sheet, if they didn't have to get the first verification photo, we have to deliver our customers after photo, a verification of completion, and that's absolutely necessary. But the way that we capture that from the vendor is critical. It's critical. It's everything. Because if it's not streamlined and it's not easy for the tech, and we're not working with them through those processes and figuring out how to brilliantly streamline that, then it's costing the tech time, valuable time. I mean, it's costing them a substantial time. We've been working for 7 years, literally nonstop, on a fully cloud-based retail fix-it technology program. We're sending the communication to the vendors via email, mobile app, and through their vendor portal in ways that it's instantaneous for them to take that picture or get that sign off or put an estimate in or put their invoice in. And they don't even feel like they're doing it. It's so easy. So they don't have 2 jobs to do. They can do 1 job. How do we treat these service providers? That matters a tremendous amount. These techs are out there and they're in a fight of traffic. They've got spouses at home that call them with stuff going on. I mean, their wife's calling them halfway down the road with something going on with Johnny or whatever. They've got real lives, multitasking. They're trying to get to the job. Before they leave their house, they've got to make sure they got the right tools on the truck. You can't fit every tool on the truck. You got to know what jobs you got mapped out that day. And when they get on the road, they got to make sure they're on schedule. So it's a real science to do their job without any of the other stuff. When they get halfway across town, in Metro Atlanta, you might go Marietta all the way to the south side of Atlanta to a job. I mean, you might spend an hour and a half getting there. Some of these store managers, they're in their own world and they don't realize, these techs have just fought a war just to get there. And, so it matters how these store managers, I'm just going to say it, they've got to welcome these guys, man. Some of these store managers aren't in the right headspace. They'll look right at a customer and say, "Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much." And then turn their head and look at a vendor service provider coming in there to do a job and have completely shift into a different person and be like, "I'll be with you in a few minutes." And that's not going to win for anybody. They've got to be welcoming to these guys, and they're there to help. They're there to fix something. These are good people. I hope I'm not offending any of my customers, but that is so important. It's very important, and they'll gain so much from that. Rule number 2, don't be bipolar. These service providers would love, the opportunity to be treated really well by the store managers, and feel like they're part of it, feel like they're part of the team. They don't want to be treated in any way like anybody listening to me wouldn't want to be treated. So it really matters a lot. That's point number 2 of how we're solving it. We're talking to these service providers like they're grown-ups. We're treating them like adults, but we expect them to act like adults, and they do. They don't last long if they don't. They work their own self out the door. But we have monthly touch points with our corporate level customers too, and they convey this stuff to the area managers and the store managers. So there's a culture being created in this business. We're going to continue to spread that through the industry. So we want everybody's help doing that and to learn from everybody else too. Another thing, how do we also solve problems in this industry when we're focused on the vendor? Because they're the real product. The vendor is the product. They're the ones doing this service. Paying the vendors fast. These vendors, they're kind of tense until they get that first check, but they need consistency. I'm kidding about, especially in the first check, but they do loosen up a little bit after they see that you're going to pay them, and pay them on time. My controller, Melody Calvert, she did a huge vendor check run. Her and 2 of her daughters went to El Salvador on a mission trip, but 2 days before that, she did a $70,000 vendor check run, and she showed me a stack of envelopes this big. And what went through my head when I saw that was like, we love to pay our vendors, just kind of this whole theme of empowering these people, that went through my head, and I was going to do a post. That's why I took the picture. So here's what's amazing. So I took the picture. I never even posted that on Facebook yet. And then I get an email from Scully, which is my quality control, vendor relations, customer relations manager. That same check run showed up to a vendor in Las Vegas, and he took the time to email us this. And let me read it to you. He said, "To whom it may concern, this email is regarding work order in Hendersonville, Nevada." I'm going to skip the store name for privacy purposes. He said, "I just want to thank you for sending payment. This was received today, 7/16/24. We are not used to being paid as quickly as RCS has done. Please send many more work orders, and I'm happy to take them on. Thank you very much for such a prompt payment, and I hope to work with RCS very, very soon. I was like, man, this guy took the time to do that, And I was like, this is the vision. These are important things. We've got tons of other podcasts coming where we can continue to learn together about the industry and share with you guys what we're doing to solve facility management in 2024 and beyond. We've got a lot of really cool ideas. We've got no end in sight with technology development. We have a full-blown in-house software team developing software day and night in this company because we don't want to cost our customers more money. We want to make things efficient. We want to solve things for the vendors so we have favor with them and they don't have begrudging costs on their invoices that we have to pass uphill to our customers. That's key. The customers will get on fire for that. If they can get it done streamlined and we're not charging too much and the vendors are happy, that's what we're doing. So I hope you guys like this episode. We're enjoying this. I have to give gratitude to the executive producer of this podcast, Chris Heck. He's been an amazing coach. This is my first time being on air and this kind of thing. It's tough to figure it out. He's been fantastic. I have to say something about my team. They're working right now to manage service calls all over this country for these great customers of ours, and I have an incredible team. They are just absolutely fantastic. I love them to death. They work together. They love each other to death. They care about their customers. They care about these vendors, and that's just what it's all about. So like and share, subscribe to this podcast, share it with your business owner friends. We're not just going to reach facility management people. We want to inspire this business sector of the United States of America because it needs more of some of the things we're talking about in it, and it needs reformation itself. So we're going to take the hill. We're going to do it together. So join the family. We love you guys. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time on the Retail Fix It podcast.